Lucid dreams, the truth. How many times you have dreamed things that you felt very real? Those dreams that, upon you waking, do not leave you indifferent because, of course, you are accustomed to sleep, to dream things, but these episodes are particular. You are left with the feeling that, yes, was real, were there, that was real. You feel it, you interact and spoke or did things while you were sleeping. You felt completely real at the moment. Of course, upon awaking, the magic begins to fade and when up living is a simple anecdote. Is it right? No further preambles are necessary. Let's get to what you have come here to seek. To understand the basis of this, you understand that we have 7 types of body in total: the physical, the etheric, the mental, the causal or spiritual, the Christic, the atmic, and the one that concerns us on this moment, the emotional or astral. This type of body, explained simple, is what allows you to disconnect from your physical body and travel to other planes. One of the planes you can visit, and which you do very frequently, more often than you are aware of, is the astral plane, which receives its name from the type of body which would connect your. In this place, the limits of the 3D of this real world have no validity, such as time and space. Therefore, once you enter the astral plane, there are no physical limit heights, which is why you generally arrive from one moment to another or tend to fly within. And perhaps the most importantly is completely timeless. By timeless, I mean that there is no past, present, or future. Everything exists in a single timeline, which allows you to interact with people and place that, according to our logic or perception of time, will already be part of the past, or generally even things that we or believe we do not, such as certain landscapes or countries that we are sure we have only seen on television or movies. Within the astral plane, you will see loved ones who are no longer alive with us, who passed away a long time ago. You will be able to enter eras such as ancient Egypt, medieval and Victorian times. You will be even to able to go forward into what you will believe to be to the future, establish conversation with the famous historical figures. By interacting with the environments, you will be able to feel completely real sensations and even bring information back from this plane as soon as you wake up. If you have paid attention to what you are mentioned about, I'm sure that something is already beginning to stir with you, and these are nothing more than confirmations, because although in some people of the degree of denial about of this, the lack of logic is pushing to them to close themselves, deep down where the truth lies, they can know that is true. But then, what's all this? It's the world of the shadows, the world of the dreams. They are the mental residues of experiences I have during the day, or simple, as modern sciences and today professionals tend to dismiss it, hallucination created with the brain. The truth is so simple that is hidden right before everyone's eyes. The astral plane exists. Everything that has been part of one of your lives, whether those we have lived, the present one, and those we are living in the future, everything that humanity has experienced is all concentrated and available on this plane. In other words, we do not dream when we sleep. We are leaving our body and connect with another reality, with another plane. Conversations that you are established with deceased beings, loved ones, eras that you explore, advice that you receive, or experience that you live will be as real as soon you are experiencing in this very moment you are listening this word. You must embrace this knowledge in order to have to understanding the responsibility and degree of consciousness necessary to implement and use it in what could be called an actual life. From this plane, you may be obtaining information that could be useful to you, whether to help other people or simply to resolve personal conflict for which we cannot find any kind of solution on the material plane. You can visit places that you are known as children, or from the other life of which you are not completely conscious. A confirmation of this is when, in a present moment, you visit a place for the first time and have the sensation that you already know it, or you feel a strong connection in an inexplicable way. If this has ever happened to you, when you are starting to dream and go on the astral plane, you can go there and revisit this place or simply obtain the answers. Another great advantage which I made use or you can allow to establish contact with the people who have already left the physical plane or even met family members whom we are enabled to meet during their lifetime. On this moment, I give you two very important and private examples, and this is the first time I do this public. Of this included, for me, when I go to one time, I'm able to see my paternal grandparents together. I'm giving them a most real embrace I had ever given in a personal life. We cried until I had no more tears after having reunited after more than 10 years. That was, for me, the embrace more strong I given to another person, because when I wake up, I feel the sensation of my body I have the sensation to embrace another people seconds ago. So with the astral plane, I am breathing on this plane that sensation. And maybe perhaps the stronger case was during one of these journeys. I don't know who is this man. Is present in front of me, giving me information, giving me his name. So when I wake up, I spoke with my mother and give the description of this person, and my mother sent me a picture of his father. He dies before I was born, and this astral plane is giving me the opportunity to know my maternal grandfather on my 35 years. So I know my maternal grandfather on astral plane when on this life I never see it. With this, I want you to understand the enormous potential contained within this plane. As I tell you, you can even bring back information, answers, and ideas. However, not everything on this plane is perfect. As I mentioned previously, it's very important that you are be responsible and conscious. The astral plane is subdivided into the higher and lower astral, and most of you will not really know at the moment you experience something, whether it is true or not, as in life, according to the law of polarity, the extreme exists. Just as the exists is good, just is also the evil. It's very important that we establish a connection with certain entity on this plane, that is people or counselors, whether known or unknown. You'll be as lucid as possible in order to pay attention to your perception of who is standing before you and to what you feel about their presence and their words. To give a very simple example, on the material plane, when you're speaking with someone, you can perceive whether that person is good or bad, whether what they are saying is true or whether they are hiding something. On the same way, you must use your intention, your heart, to know whether the person is standing before you in the astral is what they claim to be, or whether what they are telling us resonating or not with you. What has been explained above cannot be taken lightly under any circumstances, because in the astral plane, just as we change eras or see ourselves differently, or even as animal forms, the entities present there can change their appearances. Be very careful with this. Therefore, if we are standing before someone who appears to be a person we know, but they tell us negative things that do not resonate with us, they are not what they can claim to be. Can avoid your coming to this plane, then? No. You are doing it every time you're going to sleep unconsciously. What this is very important is to be doing with consciously. I give you now that different advices. Before you go to sleep, just when you enter to the platform to consume digital content, choose where you want to go and who would you like to see, so that you enter to the dream already with a clear idea and go directly there. All we ask from protection from the guardian angel, spiritual guides, your higher self, or any entity of life with your connect on a personal level. For example, a great protector is always the Archangel Saint Michael. The Archangel Saint Michael is very, very powerful. Call it. Always keep the space where you sleep energetically clean. That is, a space of high vibration protected with Palo Santo, copal, incense, quartz crystal, etc. Physical object of protection, such as a tourmaline stone on the pillow, the Turkish eye on the doors, object with a sacred geometry for protection, either in the space itself or be wearing them ourselves, like rings, necklace, bracelets, etc. And now, first to go forward on the video, I give you a very, very serious warning, really. If any of these journeys, for whatever reason, you receive any kind of proposal involving an exchange, or especially one they require the signing of the contract of any kind of similar things, never accepted, always rejected. Okay? Never accepted, always rejected. If it's possible, leave that place and cut off the communication with that person. Everything on the present in the astral plane with good intention. If you can help you, we do simple. Or they will do so to the degree that we allow to them so. As I said first, receiving information that help us to solve a personal problem or help other people does not require any kind of exchange of anyone. If such an exchange is offered, the proposal is not authentic and the entity is not real. I insist, always says no. In this case, you have been wondering what happens when I see people whom I know within my current life. Do I see them as they are? Do I see them as they were in the past? Or is a version of them that I don't know now because it seems that I saw them in their future? Yes, it's real. Remember, I mentioned that there is neither time or nor space. You are meeting the soul of that person at the exact moment. And this is happening because the other person is doing the same things as you, sleeping and traveling into the astral plane. Nothing could be more simpler or more logical than that. That is where the famous phrase, "I dreamed about you the other day," comes from. This is the explanation. No, that you are know all of this. It is something that you were frightening you. Case of your fear. Should you really be worried about the existence of these things? Absolutely not. Fear and worry are merely very low, dense energy that only attract more of the same. What you should do is, at the very least, be happy to access to certain degrees of information. Be joyful and at peace. All of this simply so that you can become more conscious and learn to decipher what is before your eyes, what is happening when you sleep, and what can be truly useful for you. Be happy because this kind of state can heighten your energy, and be calm because you are protected. If at the moment of traveling to astral plane, you find yourself in a full possession of your faculties, you will be able to experience the so-called lucid dream in a much more pleasurable way. Enjoy the journey. Above and most importantly, when your negative things begin to happen, become the mind actor. Stop and change the movie. In which direction? In whatever direction you want. Because the power is all within with yourself. It is time to awaken and use it.